Namaste. Welcome to class 8. It's me Vishwas Guru as your science teacher. Today we are going to learn about unit number 2. Unit number 2, that is velocity and acceleration. Velocity and acceleration. So on the completion of this lesson, students will be able to know about define the reference point in relation to the position of an object. Okay, describe the average velocity and relative velocity. What is average velocity and what is relative velocity? You will able to define after the completion of this lesson, and you will able to introduce what is acceleration and what is retardation. Okay. And you can able to write the equation to the velocity and acceleration, and you can use them as well. Also, you can solve various types of simple numerical problem related to velocity and acceleration. So let's start our topic. Okay. So every day we observe the phenomena of flying birds and moving cars. Okay. So in that case, okay, flying birds and the running cars are at which position? They are in motion position. They are in motion position. So in this example, we notice that the object, car and birds, keep their position changing according to the surrounding with passage of time. Okay, so it means that this car and flying birds are motion object. So another, we see various objects which do not change their position, okay, for a long time. For example, trees which never change its position, houses, electric poles, stones. हजुरले कहिले इलेक्ट्रिक पोल्स, रुखहरू अथवा ढुङ्गाहरू हिँडेको देख्नु भएको छ? No, so they never change their position. Okay, so let's talk about what is rest and what is motion. Okay, so what is rest and what is motion? So rest, a body is said to be rest if it does not change its position with respect to the surrounding, okay, in the passage of time. Understood? In the passage of time. So let's write the definition of rest. A body is said to be rest if it does not change its position with respect to the surrounding in the passage of time. Okay, a body is said to be rest if it does not change its position with respect to the surrounding in the passage of time. If a body does not change its position, then we can say that body is in the which position? Rest position. So I will provide you some example to clear this definition. Okay. So for example, stone, which we have already taught. Stone, stones, houses, okay, trees, electric pole, etc. and etc. These stone, houses, trees, electric poles does not change its position. That's why they are at rest position. Okay, if I does not change my position and I stay here, then it means that I am in rest position. If I move from here to there, change my position according to the surrounding or according to you, then I will be in motion. Okay, let's clear about the rest and motion first. Okay, so now you will know what is motion. You will know what is motion. So let's write what is motion. Motion. So motion, a body is said to be motion. Say a body is said to be motion if it change. अब हामीले चाहिँ रेस्टमा डज नट लेखेका थियौं, मोसनमा के हुन्छ? Change हुन्छ. Okay, all the definition are same. a body is said to be motion if it changes its position with respect to the surrounding in the passage of time. Okay, changes जस्तै मोशन भनेको कस्तो एउटा कुनै अब्जेक्टले आफ्नो पोजिसनहरु चेन्ज गरिरहेको छ. For example, a moving vehicles, a moving car is changing its position continuously according to the surrounding. Okay, according to the surrounding. Okay, these points, they are called stationary object and they take as a reference point, okay, to the surrounding object or to the motion. So let's learn about definition of motion. A body is said to be motion if it changes its position with respect to the surrounding time to time. Let's write the example of motion. Okay, example of motion. So there are various types of objects changing its position. See, flying bird, flying birds, moving car or walking man. हेर्नुस् त एउटा हिँडिरहेको मान्छे अथवा उडिरहेको चराले के हुन्छ इट्स चेन्ज इट्स पोजिसन अकॉर्डिङ टु द सराउन्डिङ चेन्ज गरिरहेको हुन्छ टाइम एन्ड टाइड इट्स चेन्ज इट्स पोजिसन. Okay, so thus if a body changes its position it is called motion. If a body does not change its position it is very simply भाषामा यसो भन्नुस् कि एउटा बडीले चाहिँ आफ्नो पोजिसन चेन्ज गर्छ भने त्यसलाई के भनिन्छ मोसन भनिन्छ भने जसले चेन्ज गर्दैन त्यसलाई के भनिन्छ रेस्ट भनिन्छ. सो एक्जाममा आउन सक्छ हजुरलाई रेस्ट एन्ड मोसन आर रिलेटिभ टर्म्स भनेर यसलाई एक्सप्लेन गर्नुस् भनेर आउन सक्छ. ओके, हाउ क्यान वी एक्सप्लेन? ओके, सपोज अ ट्री on the road side is in state of rest. एउटा चाहिँ रोड साइडमा है एउटा रोडको साइडमा चाहिँ के छ एउटा ट्री छ. ओके, एउटा ट्री छ. दिस ट्री इज एट व्हाट पोजिसन? एट रेस्ट पोजिसन. दैट ट्री इज रेस्ट पोजिसन, okay, which do not change its position according to the surrounding, but the car changes position, right? So if a car like here with a certain time it changes its position, but the car it changes position. Okay, and stop 1 second ma 1 second ma 1 second ma it covers 2 meter. Then stop प्रत्येक 1 second ma that car changes position according to the surrounding. Okay, according to the surrounding. Then stop. This tree act as a reference point. Okay, look at here. When the car is here at A position, then car at this position B position ma kaha gayo? Straight ayo. So the car is changing its position with respect to the surrounding. So it is the state of motion. The car is in the state of motion. Okay, therefore the passenger inside the car, okay, here obviously the passenger sitting inside the car, the passenger inside the car are rest relative. Okay, the passenger inside the car are rest relative, which means that they do not change position, but the car change the position. Okay, okay, rest related to the running car, but the running car in the motion relative. Let me say the passenger inside the car is rest relative, but this running car is what? Motion relative with respect to that surrounding. So that's why rest and motion are relative terms. Clear all of you? Rest and motion are what? Relative terms. Okay. So let's talk about the different types of velocity. Clear about rest and motion? Okay. So shall we move to next topic? Sure. Okay. Types of motion or types of motion. Okay, basically there are two types of motion. One is uniform motion and another is non-uniform motion. Uniform motion, another is non-uniform motion. So what is uniform motion? and what is non-uniform motion? Let's learn. So uniform motion means what? When a body covers an equal distance in equal interval of time, then that motion is called uniform motion. So write down, when a body cover equal distance in equal interval of time, then the motion is said to be which motion? Uniform motion. When a body covers equal distance in equal interval time, at that time, that motion is called what? Uniform motion. Okay. So for example, I will give one example. For example, motion of moon while revolving around the earth. Okay, motion of moon around the earth. Okay, June moon sunny, the moon around the earth. Okay, with equal distance and equal interval time, एउटै टाइममा एउटै डिस्टेन्स कभर गर्छ. It means that एउटा मुनले चाहिँ अर्थलाई कम्प्लिट राउन्ड गर्नको लागि कति टाइम लाग्छ? It around approximately 30 days, 1 month लाग्छ. So likewise our earth moves around the sun. How many days it takes? It takes 1 year, that is 365 days. That is the what? That means a body cover equal distance and equal time. हरेक दिन अथवा हरेक वर्ष एउटै टाइममा एउटै डिस्टेन्स कभर गरेको हुनाले त्यस्तो खालको मोसनलाई के भनिन्छ? युनिफर्म मोसन, we can say like that. Okay, next topic is non-uniform motion. So what is non-uniform motion? Okay, when a body cover unequal distance, when a body cover unequal distance in equal interval of time, unequal distance हुन्छ. Okay, non-uniform motion मा के हुन्छ नि? Unequal हुन्छ. Let's write down the definition. When a body cover unequal distance in equal interval of time, then the motion is said to be which motion? Non-uniform motion. Clear all of you? Non-uniform motion. When a body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time, then that types of motion is called non-uniform motion. For example, a car moving on a road. Okay, the car moving on road. एउटा कार रोडमा गुडेको कार चाहिँ एउटै डिस्टेन्स एउटै टाइममा जान्छ जाँदैन. Sometimes it goes speed. Okay, sometimes it doesn't go. Okay, straight बाटोमा अलिकति फास्ट कुद्छ भने अलिकति टर्निङ बाटोमा अलिकति त्यसले ब्रेक लाउँदै टर्न गर्नु पर्यो. So the moving car is an example of non-uniform motion. Or we walk. Sometimes we walk very quickly because we have to move on time. Okay, so sometimes we walk gently because of lack of energy, or we have enough ample time to go there. Okay, so that depends. It means that, for example, what are the example? Moving car, moving a car. कुनै कार हिँडेको like के भनिन्छ? Non-uniform motion भनिन्छ. Clear all of you? Uniform motion and non-uniform motion are the types of motion. Okay, uniform means equal distance and equal interval of time. Just remember that. Non-uniform means on equal distance with equal interval of time. Okay, clear? Okay, so let's move on to another topic. Let's move on to another topic, that is a reference point. So what is reference point? What is reference point? A reference point भनेको के हो? What do you mean by reference point? Okay, so I have given you some example earlier here. So let's first of all define what is a reference point first. Okay, so reference point is a point from which we can compare the motion of an object. From which we can compare the motion of an object. So write down, it is a point from which we can compare the motion of an object. Okay, reference point भनेको एउटा यस्तो point हो त्यहाँबाट हामीले के गर्छौं, we can compare the motion and an object. अघि मैले एउटा एक्जाम्पल दिएको थिएँ एउटा रनिङ कारमा, जस्तो रेफरेन्स पोइन्ट चाहिँ बेसिकली स्टेशनरी अब्जेक्ट भनेको which are rest मा, जस्तै यो ट्री चाहिँ के छ, रेफरेन्स पोइन्ट हो. Okay, this tree is a reference point. Okay, if a car is moving from here, okay, if a car is moving from here, it changes velocity time and time. Okay, it moves from here to here. So at the time, reference point helps to determine its motion of an object. Okay, this point helps to define the motion of an object. Sure. So the still body or the stationary object are the reference point that determine the motion of an object. Clear? Okay. So another example. For example, when we are traveling in a bus, हामी चाहिँ कुनै बसमा अथवा माइक्रो बसमा हामी चाहिँ जाँदै छौं, we are traveling in a bus, we are in motion with respect to nearby tree. Okay, यो ट्रीलाई आधार लिँदाखेरि हामी चाहिँ केमा छौं, मोसनमा छौं. हामीले बाहिर हेर्दाखेरि के हुन्छ, घरहरु हिँडेको देख्छौं अथवा रुखहरु हिँडेको देख्छौं. That is wrong. हामी चाहिँ मोसनमा भएको हुनाले we can see that moving. But here tree act as a reference point or reference frame. Okay, this tree act as a reference point. Clear all of you? Okay, so let's move on to another topic, that is velocity. So another topic, that is velocity. I think this velocity and acceleration term you have already learned in class 6 and 7. Okay, we are also going to learn in this class as well. So what is velocity? Okay, basically velocity means, okay, one term is related with velocity, displacement. Okay, velocity भन्नेबित्तिकै के term आउँछ, displacement. Okay, displacement means the speed. It is similar like speed, but one difference is that displacement is done with the direction, speed with direction or कुनै direction. अथवा if I am moving from east to west with that velocity, that is distance, that is velocity. If I doesn't change, or if the straight, for example, हेर्नुस् है, A बाट B points मा एउटा चाहिँ 50 किलोमिटर हिँडेको छ भने कुनै मान्छेले भनेपछि यो भनेको डिस्टेन्स पनि हुन सक्छ, डिस्प्लेसमेन्ट पनि हुन सक्छ. ओके, दिस इज डिस्टेन्स एन्ड डिस्प्लेसमेन्ट. बट अब कति बेलामा डिस्टेन्स हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि इफ A to B ईस्टमा मुभ भयो अथवा वेस्टमा भयो भनेर कुनै हामी डाइरेक्सन देख्छौं भने के हुन्छ, त्यो केमा आउँछ, डिस्प्लेसमेन्टमा आउँछ. So that's why displacement is a vector quantity which has both magnitude and direction, but distance is a scalar quantity which has only magnitude but no direction. Okay, so let's define the velocity. Let's define velocity. Okay, so velocity basically defined as the rate of change of displacement of a body. Okay, velocity is defined as the rate of change of displacement of a body. So in mathematically we can write, or formula of velocity is like that. Velocity V equal to what? Displacement upon time. or time taken. So displacement is symbolized with S and time is symbolized with small t. Okay, so its formula is S by t. This is the formula. Please note it down. So what is the SI unit of velocity? Okay, what is the SI unit of displacement first? The SI unit of displacement is meter. What is the SI unit of time? The SI unit of time is second. So its unit SI unit is meter per second. The SI unit of velocity is meter per second. Okay, so it is vector quantity. Sorry, it is derived unit or fundamental unit. ल भन्नुस् त जुन हामी मेजरमेन्टमा पढेका थियौ, is that unit, the unit of velocity is derived unit or fundamental unit? Yes, obviously it is derived unit. Why it is derived unit? Because it depends on other two units, that is meter and second, which we have already learned in our previous class. I hope you will understand what is velocity, okay, and the formula of velocity, the SI unit of velocity. Okay, the formula of velocity is displacement upon time and its SI unit is meter per second. Clear? Okay, SI unit of velocity कसरी आको थाहा भयो? Clear भयो? Good. So this is the definition, formula and velocity. This is SI unit. Okay, so velocity is also defined arco language ba. If this is difficult for you, you can write another also. So velocity also defines a distance traveled by a body in a unit time in a particular direction. Okay, you can write another definition as well. Okay, don't be confused. So velocity can be defined as another way that the distance traveled by a body in a unit time in a particular direction is called velocity. Okay, so in this way, this much for today class. We will meet in next class. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a good day.